Walt Catlett here with Virginia Safety Circuit Rider Program. Alongside me is Taryn Forrest, Deepak Koirala, and Mike Sawyer. Hey, we appreciate y'all being here today. It's going to be a quick one. We're only going to be here an hour, but we have a handful of items to cover. We won't hit on everything that you probably are here for. Carlos, good to see you there. But just know this, it's the tip of the iceberg. If we hit on something that you need additional information on, just circle back around and we'll put you in contact with Deepak or Mike or myself and get you the information that you need. I see a handful of names in here from our program. Bassam, good to see you. Jolena, howdy. Hey, Bassam. We'll give it a moment and then we will kick this webinar off. Let a few more people trickle in here. We were just talking, and as we were sitting in the background getting everything in order, what we were doing this weekend. Sounds like a couple people have some fun things planned for the weekend. If you've sat in on any of our safety circuit rider classes this week, you'll know I ran the Army 10-miler this weekend. That was a lot of fun, and it was beautiful, like 40-something degrees. It was awesome. The only thing missing was a bunch of Blackhawks flying overhead. They were not there. Last time I ran it, they were everywhere. It was really cool. They weren't there. That was disappointing. But still, just jogging around DC, going over bridges that normally you can't get over on a car, and you're running across it. That's super fun. All right. Well, I've got 11:02, Taryn. What do you think? Rock and roll? Hey, welcome, everyone. You're here today for a roundtable. We've got some great panelists, Deepak Koirala with VDOT and Mike Sawyer with City of Richmond. They're going to bring two different levels of perspective. Deepak from the state level and Mike from the city, and then some, I'm sure. So we're certainly glad to have them here and to have them able to share their knowledge. What I thought we'd do before we kick everything off is take a quick screenshot of everyone here. So what do you think, Taryn? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Everyone turn your camera on just for a moment, and we'll take a picture of everybody. That'll be kind of, and then you can turn your camera off and I won't harass you anymore to turn your camera on. If you sit in on my training, I always harass y'all to do that. Well, I don't consider it harassment. It's just part of it, right? Okay, excellent. See a lot of people doing that. Thank you for turning your camera on. All right, and I don't know. That's quite a few. Taryn, what do you think? Quite a few. Oh, they just keep coming on. All right, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take y'all's picture. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Ain't that fancy? Okay, you can turn your camera off if you want to, but you don't have to. All right, look at that. Yeah, that's what I like. Okay, all good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything going and introduce our first panelist. Our first panelist is Deepak Koirala. Deepak is an experienced safety professional with over 20 years of experience in academic research, government, and private sector work. He oversees the delivery of funding and management of Virginia HSIP program, the projects, using a data-driven approach while linking them to Virginia's Strategic Highway Safety Plan. And if you haven't checked that out ever, you should go online and check it out. He uses his understanding of the safe system approach to reduce death and serious injury on all of our public roads across Virginia, both VDOT maintained and locally maintained. And we're certainly excited to have him here today to talk to us about the VHSIP Systemic Safety Implementation Program. Deepak, I'm going to hand it over to you, and I am going to turn off my camera. And Deepak, we are seeing that from the Oh, speaker notes view. So if you go up, go up into the, yeah, exactly. And swap it. Beautiful. And you're muted, Deepak. Bottom left-hand corner, you should see a microphone, Deepak. You can unmute, click on that and unmute yourself.
Let me share it again.
There you go. You're there. And you swap views somehow.
Okay.
Do it one more time.
Okay.
Beautiful. There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my presentation today, Safety Circuit Rider Roundtable discussion. Thank you, Safety Circuit Rider team, for giving me an opportunity to share a brief overview of Virginia Highway Safety Improvement Program and local systemic initiatives. Sorry, let me turn off my phone. Initiatives as the deadline for submitting applications for locality BI Smart Portal is approaching at the end of this month. This presentation will recap the brief overview of VHSIP program, what are VHSIP project types, the process for identifying systemic safety initiatives for locality, what locality need to focus on for preparing the application for this round, what kind of technical assistance VDOT will provide, and also I'm going to talk about the detailed workflow for the application process and timeline for systemic projects. As all of you know, what is the VHSIP program, but those who does not know, let me give you all a quick introduction to the VHSIP program. We deliver and manage VHSIP projects by data-driven approach, relation to strategic highway safety plan, coordinating with different transportation and safety stakeholders, including localities, MPOs, planning district commissions, etc. And also we incorporate our 4Es, education, engineering, enforcement, EMS, also considering equity in transportation. And also federal highway and many DOTs, including Virginia, adopted safe system approach to reduce death and serious injuries for all road users, including safe speed, safe vehicle, safe road, and post-crash care. Our program has different sections. Section 148 includes highway safety program, bicycle safety program, and high risk rural road. Let me tell you about the BPSP, Vulnerable Road User Safety Program. Virginia is required to obligate at least 15% of VHSIP apportionment fund by next fiscal year, that is September 30th, 2024. Since very special rule applied to Virginia, since bike-paid fatalities exceed the 15% threshold. Also, this year we obligated almost 4.5 million on HRR roads since fatalities was exceeded on rural road. But for this coming fiscal year, we don't have to obligate the HRR fund. The section 154 is open container fund. This year, FY24, 100% of open container funds goes to DMB. And also we manage section 130, which includes rail safety program. And definitely everyone knows that safety circuit program in coordination with Virginia Transportation Research Council and UBA Center for Transportation. We typically fund projects for spot, hybrid, and systemic type of projects. Let me give you some introduction to those the program. VHSIP funds are available for spot, hybrid, and systemic type of projects based on the district and locality needs. For this round of application for locality, we are only focusing on systemic improvement on locally maintained roads. So spot is one to eliminate or correct hazard at a single locations. The cost range from 100,000 to over 10 million, typically tied to type of projects in Virginia. For example, multi-lane roundabout, diverging diamond interchange, etc. Systemic improvement, that is our focus, is one, to minimize or eliminate risk on the entire network correlated with specific crash type. So basically, the tier 1 type of projects, the cost range from 1,000 to 100,000 per treated locations. And hybrid is the combination of spot and systemic type of projects. For example, if localities or districts, they are widening the trench with rumble strip, so that's the combination of two, spot and systemic, so we call that as a hybrid. Basically, today's topic is focused on related to the systemic type of projects for locality. The slides talk about the decision to move a systemic approach. The systemic safety projects improve safety by installing a lower cost, higher return countermeasures at multiple locations. As you can see, for the same investment, same investment in Virginia, systemic treatment are expected to be up to 20 times more effective at reducing fatalities than spot projects. Similarly, 74 times more effective at reducing serious injuries than spot projects, and 104 times more effective at reducing bike ped related crashes than spot projects. By looking the benefit, Commonwealth Transportation Board decided to implement the systemic safety implementation plan in September 2019. The slides talks about the local systemic initiative countermeasures identifications, how we develop the systemic criteria for this round. The process for identifying systemic initiatives begin with our strategic highway safety plan, that is Virginia SHSP. That is the statewide coordinations between the safety planners and the providers, comprehensive framework for reducing fatalities and serious injuries on all public roads. The SHSP is developed in coordination with transportation and safety stakeholders and is updated every 5 years. The current plan extend from 2022 to 2026 and include various emphasis area to address traffic safety. The emphasis area is related to the infrastructure related improvement and the behavioral type of related, focusing on safe system element. The emphasis area that included in the SHSPs are roadway departure, speeding, intersection related, pedestrian, bicycle, impaired driving, occupant protection, young drivers, senior drivers, and also we use the data-driven approach. The second steps is after identifying the safe system element and emphasis area, we then compile systemic countermeasures to address the emphasis area in the SHSP. Systemic countermeasures are low-cost measures with a proven safety benefits that can be implemented at locations with the associated crash type. This systemic improvement were identified using the crash modification factors from clearinghouse, and VDOT is also developed the Virginia specific preferred crash modification list, and we also looked the Federal Highway proven safety countermeasures, the Virginia Transportation Council's studies, NCHRP reports, etc. From there, finally, we conducted a benefit cost analysis to determine which measures would provide the greatest safety benefit for the investment. Also, we looked the crash contribution factors, and as you all know that roadway departures contribute over half of the Virginia traffic fatalities. Other leading crash types are intersection and pedestrian related, which claims 25% and over 15% of traffic deaths respectively. So our focus is roadway departure, intersection, speed, and pedestrian.
Hey, Deepak.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You're good. Okay. Your slide was looking funky, but it looks great now, so I will be quiet. Keep rock
so-
and roll, rock and roll.
sorry about that.
Okay.
After the determination of systemic initiatives, the slide shows the VDOT preferred systemic initiatives. These are the one that we are focused on. But if localities has some initiatives that they want to include, but localities must make the case and prove the selected countermeasures has highest return on investment. However, the priorities will be given will be placed for these 6 identified initiatives, and ultimately these 6 countermeasures are the one that we have ready to provide the funds for locality. And these all are FSWA proven countermeasures. The implementation criteria and one-pagers has been developed. So those all are available on our external website. Please go and follow the criteria before preparing the application. These slides talk about the funding availability for locality. Commonwealth Transportation Board approved the updated systemic plan in January 2022 and set aside approximately 110 million for locality. Last round, we funded all the local safety projects they submitted that worth around 60 million on locally maintained roads. The leftover fund around approximately 50 million is available for this round, and the round is focused on the 6 identified initiatives. So those are high visibility backplates, flashing yellow arrow, pedestrian crossing, road diet, unsignalized intersection, and curb delineations. The one-pagers and implementation criteria has been developed. So please go to the external website for VDOT to look those before preparing the applications. Many users ask about the difference between VDOT versus locally maintained roads. The slide talks the difference between the two. Basically, city maintain all roads within their jurisdiction except interstate. Big town those are urbanized. Locality maintains all their roads within their jurisdiction except interstate. The small town, those are less urbanized. VDOT maintain all roads. Henrico and Arlington County, they maintain their own roads except the interstate. All other counties, VDOT maintain all roads. For this round, the fund is only available for systemic initiatives on locally maintained roads. Let me tell you the fact about Virginia. VDOT ranked 3rd in the country for state maintained highway miles after Texas and North Carolina. That is roughly 58,000 miles, central line miles VDOT maintain, and roughly 11,000 central line miles of urban street maintained by cities and towns. Just to remind you, the fund is only available for locally maintained roads for this round. These are the I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these initiatives. I just go through the in a summary. The high visibility backplates is one of the countermeasures that is a proven low-cost safety countermeasures by federal highway that can be deployed systematically. The budget estimate is 5,000 to 15,000 per intersection. The service life, that is the physical life of the high visibility backplates, is around 6 years. VDOT has developed the tools to calculate service life, and we will share in near futures by doing roundtables or something to show how to calculate the service lives for each initiatives. Basically, all traffic signals is eligible to get the HBSP with some restrictions, which includes the pole upgrades, signal structure replacement, or major signal modifications are restricted for this round. The HBSP has a high the crash reduction, up to 15% crash reduction, that is about 0.85. So after implementing HBSP, you are expected to reduce 15% crash reduction. Similarly, the flashing yellow arrow is another proven safety countermeasures by Federal Highway. The budget estimate 50,000 to 125,000 per intersection. The service life is around 10 years. Not all traffic signals are eligible to get the flashing yellow arrow. Eligible flashing yellow arrow installation include retrofit of existing permissive left turn phasing or protected permissive left turn phasing only. So the restrictions applied here is if we have the major signal structure modification, such as full signal rebuild, we are not expecting those kinds of improvement for flashing yellow arrow. The estimated crash reduction is 10 to 20%. So after implementing flashing yellow arrow, we are expected to reduce 20% of the crash. Similarly, the pedestrian crossing is another low-cost proven safety countermeasures by Federal Highway that can be deployed systematically. The budget estimate is 50,000 to 125,000 per crossing locations. The service life is around 5 years and include a variety of low-cost treatment for signalized, unsignalized, and mid-block locations. We are not expecting from localities for extensive sidewalk connections, road widenings, utilities relocations, curb gutter improvements. Those kind of cost is restricted. And then the estimated crash reduction is 56%, that after implementing the paid high visibility crosswalk, we are expecting to reduce 56% of crash. The curb signage is another low-cost proven safety countermeasures by Federal Highway. The budget estimate is 20,000 to 35,000 per curb locations. Service life is around 6 years. The curb with non-safety issues like signs, markings, and if localities have any other low-cost countermeasures, those all can be eligible for the curb improvement. And the curb currently not meeting the MUTC criteria is outlined. Please check on MUTCD table 2C5. Those are not eligible for this round. And then estimated crash reduction for curb signing or curb delineation is around 40%. Similarly, the unsignalized intersections. The unsignalized intersections is another low-cost proven safety countermeasures by Federal Highway. The budget estimated in average 6,000 to 37,000 per locations. The service life is around 5 years. The eligible, the criteria is sign, marking, and other low-cost countermeasures. Basically, the VTRCs has published the report on unsignalized intersections. Those has tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. If you all are interested, you can go there. Those all are qualified low-cost countermeasures. Those all items are eligible for the unsignalized intersections. The estimated crash reduction is 10%. So basically, after implementing unsignalized intersections related countermeasures, we are expecting to reduce around 10% crash. The other one is road reconfiguration, or we can call is road diet. This is also the proven safety countermeasures by Federal Highway that can be deployed systematically. The road diet typically involve converting an existing 4-lane undivided roadway to a 3-lane roadway consisting of 2 through lane and a center TWLT 2A left turn lane. Typically roadway with ADT less than 20,000, we recommended that. And the budget estimated is around 50,000 to 100,000 per mile. The service life is around 6%. And basically, we recommend to reduce the low cost. We recommend localities to follow the paving schedule and to reconfigure, to apply the road reconfiguration, so that you will save a lot of money when you are doing in with the 3R or paving schedule the planned. The extensive asphalt paving work and street escapings and adding additional lanes are not eligible for road diet. So the estimated the crash reduction is around 47% after implementing the road diet. the technical assistant available through VDOT Central Office Traffic Operation Division. However, the assistant for this period has been closed. Localities seeking assistance with this year applications process will be contacting by safety circuit rider team or one of our on-call consultant, BSP, Kim Lihan, or WSP, to determine the level of support and help to prepare the applications and engineering support. The engineering technical assistance include the countermeasures and site identification, application development, the high-level cost estimate development, developing scope for funding applications. Assistant not offered is the detailed design and administer the projects. So if you have any questions on this one, you can contact any of us by HSIP program at vdot.virginia.gov. So we'll be reaching back to you all. This is just the draft tentative timeline and VHSIP application process. Basically, the intake period is currently going on and it begins August 1st and the portal close October 31st. All applications need to be submitted before the deadline. District review process start in parallel to intake period. During intake period, basically the intake period is going on, and at that time, locality can communicate via portal by creating comments and alerts. VDOT answers alerts and comments as it comes. We monitor the comments in the smart portal periodically. So as soon as intake period ends, the local liaison validation process start, and it goes till December 1st. During local liaison validation process, the validators look for completeness of the application. Does the application follow the local comprehensive plan if they have any? And also they were looking for any performance issues on existing projects. District validation and central office validation process start in parallel to local liaison validation. District validation goes till January 1st and central office validation goes till March 1st. During district validation process, the validator looks for the completeness of the application and cost estimate, either all contingency or VDOT oversight cost included or not. As soon as central office validation and the scoring process starts, and it goes till March 1st, and when the scoring process ends, district can start creating the temporary UPC, and the process goes till May 1st. So district is responsible for creating the temporary UPC. After UPC creation process ends, the draft SIP will be presented to Commonwealth Transportation Board by our central office infrastructure division in May-June timeline. After CTB approved the SIP scenario open, and we outreach to locality to notify either their projects is selected for funding or not. VDOT will also update the status of the funding on Smart Portal as funded. So we recommend localities to periodically check on the Smart Portal as well. I will go quickly on the VHSIP application workflow. The VHSIP application workflow guide and involve several steps from application creation to fund the application. The VHSIP Smart Portal follow the workflow process, and the logic is embedded in the Smart Portal. So basically, this logic is already embedded in the Smart Portal. The step one is application is submitted, and if the application is administered by VDOT, it goes to district validation process. If not administered and is administered by locality, and it goes to local liaison validation process. Then local liaison review the application. If local liaison approved, it goes to district traffic engineering review process. If the application is not approved, it roll back to the applicants for edits if they have any. The approved application goes to district traffic engineers to review process. If district validators approved, it goes to central office validation. And if central office validator approved, the applications is screened in. If not approved, it may be rolled back to the applicants for audits, or central office validators can screen out the project. So this is basically very simple workflow, and is already embedded in the smart portal application process. The slide shows the screenshot of VHSIP Smart Portal dashboard front end. And I know everyone is familiar with this. The login credential is required to access the smart portal. Please coordinate with district point of contact or central office traffic operation division staff to set up the username. If consultant is helping on the application process for multiple localities, consultant need to have unique username for each locality. Coordinate with localities to create the unique username. Once login credential is set up, user can access to the system and start creating the application. There is an option to clone the previous application if you have already submitted those applications to save some time. We have done several webinars last year. Please visit to VHSIP external website to access the YouTube video and webinar, how to prepare the applications. So those all webinars, implementation criteria, those are all available in our external website. I have prepared this slide because so many localities requested how to trace or import the multiple locations on portal. Due to the project systemic in nature, localities may have multiple locations, and we are not allowed to trace the box or big polygon on the map. So the mapping tab has options available to import the lat long, or if you have any save files, you can import those for point area and for the line segments. So if you want to import the file with the lat long information, there is the options available in Smart Portal. This is the project evaluation criteria. I will just go in quickly. States are required to develop and maintain a method to prioritize safety projects based upon quantifiable data-driven approach. Application in Smart Portal will be reviewed, and each application will be rated based upon on a scoring rubric. The scoring rubric includes 6 factors to weight the application. The BC ratio, we set aside a maximum of 40 points because BCR help us in making consistent and sound investment decision, and it optimize the return on investment and increase the effectiveness of the projects and program. BC, because this project is in systemic in nature, so BC ratio is not only the factors to access the eligibility of HSP proposals. So we review all those applications and consider other factors also. So we recommend localities to submit all the application, even the benefit cost ratio is less than 1, 9, or 10. So those all are, we can review in our scoring process. The location factors, as I showed you previously, if localities map the locations properly, we'll give them the full score. If applications use the VDOT identified scope, like the 6 systemic initiative, we will give them the full score because localities does not need to enter the crash modification factors, service life. Those all are embedded in the portal, so it's very easy to follow. If district localities decided to pick the VDOT identified countermeasures. We recommend a minimal or no right-of-way. If the project does not acquire right-of-way, the application will receive a full score. And if the application has proper schedule by phase, the application will receive full score. If the application has proper cost estimate, including contingency, VDOT oversight cost, those applications will also receive full scores. Localities do not need to worry about the inflation because the portal automatically factor and calculate the inflation based upon whatever phase start and end date localities put in the schedule tab. If the application has supporting documents, this is not mandatory, but if localities has some kind of studies, letter of resolutions that supporting for these applications, we definitely give full score on this application rubric process. And also the slide shows how the safety projects are tracking. We have developed in-house Power BI-based VHSIP project tracking tools, which tracks all VDOT admin versus locally admin projects. As I told you earlier, we funded almost 60 million worth of projects, and these are the list of the local projects submitted last year's. And the on time is 100%, on budget is 100%. So we are strictly monitoring these projects to ensure that all selected projects are delivered in a timely manner. We track on time, on budget for each projects, and we strictly enforce and track all the safety projects. If projects fail to meet the development delivery requirement on time, on budget, which might impact or not eligible to receive the additional safety fund. So we recommend localities to coordinate with the local liaison or the project managers to put all the scheduling update activities in PWA so that these all projects will be on time, on budget. So this concludes my part of the sections. If you have, we have a external website created in the external site, and all the implementation criteria, webinar, and everything was there. So we recommend to go on the external VDOT website and check those out. And also we have a email sign up. We offer periodically trainings, guidance, updates, and so if you have sign up in a email sign up in the VDOT external website, you will get all those kind of notification. So if you have any questions, our VHSIP program manager, either Tracy Turpin, or you can contact me. So we will here to help.
Great stuff, Deepak. Great stuff. Hey, thanks, Deepak. Great information. And we've had some comments in the chat about sharing of slides and all that. And we took the liberty to say, we're going to share your slides. So if that's not right, you got to square me away later. All right.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Great stuff.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to go ahead and hand the mic over to our next panelist, Mike Sawyer. Mr. Sawyer is interested in how to build a safe, sustainable, and accessible city for all ages and abilities, and support it with multimodal transportation systems. Mr. Sawyer has over 30 years of experience in transportation engineering work in the private sector, as well as the local, state, regional, tribal, and federal levels of government. He currently serves as a city transportation engineer for the City of Richmond and as the city's first Vision Zero coordinator. Previously, he served as a state highway safety engineer with the Virginia Department of Transportation. He emphasizes that transportation should serve all users within the city, and in particular, serve transportation disadvantaged communities who are disabled, elderly, or low income. Mike, great to have you. I'm gonna hand the mic over to you and let you rock and roll.
Thanks, Walton. Thanks for the opportunity to share a little bit about, from a local perspective, how this partnership with the Highway Safety Improvement Program and VDOT has positively impacted the city of Richmond. And my goal here today is just to encourage you to use this program to implement safety improvements in your jurisdiction. So when we think about the city of Richmond, we have three different buckets. Vision Zero is everyone arrives safely. Complete Streets is we serve all transportation modes. And then Smart Cities is leveraging technology, not just for technology's sake, but to implement the other two, to get people safely and to serve all modes. And I was always taught not to bury the lead story. So here it is. And this is what we're going to go through. The city of Richmond over this 10-year period is receiving nearly $29 million. You can see the items in green are projects that have been completed. The ones in bold are either underway or about to be, and then the ones that are italicized are ones that are on the horizon that haven't started yet because the funding's in the out year. So when you think about prioritization, you want to go the systemic approach, which is the low cost, wide footprint, quick implementation. Then you go and maybe have some retiming funding that you can throw in there to help all modes that get across the street, particularly people walking. And then you have the medium cost, moderate construction, and then you have high cost. So when you think in terms of deploying things in your communities, think about what can be done quickly, which is usually the systemic approach. So now I'm just going to walk through these. This was a phase 1 for pedestrian safety. It was touched 150 intersections. We did high visibility crosswalks, pedestrian countdown signals, push buttons, and accessible curb ramps. It was about $3.4 million, and this has been completed. You can see a map of Richmond and all the different intersections that we were able to touch with this first initial project. We also had a follow-on project, which we called 1B. It only addressed 4 intersections, and it was doing much of the same thing. One thing I'll note is when it's a lower cost like this, you may have some trouble advertising and getting a contractor on board because the dollar value isn't as high as they're looking for. We had 5 re-advertisements with this one, but the construction's complete now. And those are the 4 locations with that project. Then we have phase 2, which is currently underway. It's addressing 35 intersections, doing the same type of work, $2.4 million. They're the locations that we're addressing with that. We had phase 3, which addressed 150 intersections again, but this time they were unsignalized, uncontrolled intersections. And we did crosswalks, regulatory and warning signs, stop bars, corner clearance marks, and then the R1-6 in-street sign for stop for pedestrians. This coincided with the new state law, which was stop for pedestrians. So we have been trying to advertise that on the street as well to get cultural shift and change there. So that was another $1.6 million. There are those locations. Then we have pedestrian hybrid beacons. We've installed 5 hybrid beacons for $1.3 million next to high school, elementary school, and 3 city parks. And there's some diagrams of where those are, kind of fuzzy. Then we had converting. Historically in the city of Richmond, we had a lot of pedestal mounted on the side of the roadways, signal indications, and we want to get them up overhead. And there's a huge safety benefit when you do that. And so we still have a few of these remaining. Most of them were done around the turn of the century, but we were able to convert the 5 more intersections there for $1.3 million using safety funds. And there's those locations in the city. And then we're building new traffic control signals as well. So this is $2.1 million, and we're addressing 3 intersections. We won a nice award for systemic sight distance improvements at signalized intersections, and you can see by the pictures, you can't necessarily see from the distance that you're required to see a signal the signal indication. So we went around to all 480 intersections and did an evaluation. And then we did tree trimming and also used some high visibility signal backplates with that. But APWA gave us an honorable mention for project of the year for less than $5 million. So that was a $1.4 million project. We also did roadway conversion. So we have 10+ miles of bike infrastructure because of the Highway Safety Improvement Program. That was $1.5 million. Those are those locations in the city. And then we were able to go around some elementary schools. This is Mary Mumford for about $500,000. We upgraded the school flashers, school pavement markings, raised crosswalk, high visibility crosswalks. One note here, again, it was a low value and it was difficult to get a contractor on board using federal dollars to do that, but we were able to get it complete. And then Oak Grove Elementary in our south side, we had curb extensions, crosswalks, school warning signs, sidewalk, and curb ramps. Again, that was a low value, so we had trouble with the contractor, but this is complete. Now we were moving on to one that's advertised for construction. This is an improvement at Hull Street and Belt Boulevard, where we have our transit transfer center in the south side. And so it's a signal modernization, it's high visibility crosswalks, it's a shared use path, sidewalks, accessible ramps, and countdown signal. That's $1.5 million worth of improvement. This one's just kicking off in design. This is Hopkins Road. It's going to be in the south side. It's a $1.5 million roadway conversion. It's currently a 5-lane section. Will be converted to a 3-lane section with bike lanes, buffered bike lanes. And I think that ends up being about another 6 miles of bike infrastructure. This one is upcoming as well. It's a little bit fuzzy, but this is just going to kick off with high visibility crosswalks, flashing yellow arrow, and high visibility signal backplates, $4.7 million. This is at unsignalized intersections. It's $3.5 million to improve the markings and the signage on these corridors. And then lastly, we're deploying some left turn hardening measures for $500,000. And again, these last 3 are upcoming. So you can see it's quite a lot of work that we're able to accomplish with this partnership that we have with the Federal Highway Administration and VDOT to make a difference with low cost systemic. So I encourage you to continue to pursue this type of funding. You can even take it away from us in the competition, right? So encourage that. All right. So that's all I had, Walt.
Hey, Mike, thanks for sharing City of Richmond's programs. I just had one question, and that is, a lot of times when we travel out around the state and we're interacting with localities, city traffic engineers and people who do this type of work, they're just starting. Anything you want to add, because you have a robust program? Any words of encouragement for that type of situation?
Yeah, definitely. You need to start where you are and just identify your high injury network and go to work with the tools that VDOT's allowing us to deploy. And don't be afraid to be innovative in your application, but just start where it's the worst, and you're going to make a difference. When you do these things, you also want to leverage your partnerships. So you want to say that you're changing the built environment, but we're not just changing the built environment. We're doing it to shift our safety culture. So I always say, if I put a crosswalk down and no one stops for the person in the crosswalk, what good is it? So the culture has to come along with the built environment. So that HSIP is a great program to allow you to build credibility within your jurisdiction to say, we're doing things. Now, if the police department could do their part, and if the educators could do their part, and if the health professionals could do their part, engineering can do its part.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all about culture. Bringing it all in. Mike, thanks so much. If y'all have questions for Mike or for Deepak, throw them in the chat room. They'll grab them and answer them. And we're going to do a quick overview of the Safety Circuit Rider program. So I'm going to do it. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Don't think I have to worry about that. Taryn, can we see my screen?
Looks good.
Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to take a moment to walk through the Safety Circuit Rider program. It is a component of the Virginia's HSIP program, and just share with you what it offers to local agencies that not only maintain their own roadways, but others as well. So don't hesitate, reach out to us. I am Virginia's Safety Circuit Rider. I fall underneath the Circuit Rider program, and because of the success of the program, we also have some responsibilities at the National Center for Rural Road Safety. This is what our program, it went back 4 or 5 years when we first initiated it. And here you see some of the people who've made up that program, the directors of the program managers, our 2 safety circuit riders that we've had to date, and then 2 of our facilitators, project managers, Alexis Galozin and Taryn Forrest, who keep us hopping. And if you've been in the program, you know who they are. I do want to highlight real quickly who the champions were. You always need a champion in a program, and the two champions who've made the Safety Circuit Rider program exist in the state of Virginia are these two individuals. Beth O'Donnell, who was the deputy director at the time for Center for Transportation Studies, and Mark Cole, who was the division manager at VDOT and still there rocking and rolling and making things happen. The way the Safety Circuit Rider program reaches people is through training, and you can see the different ways we do that. We also provide crash data analysis of a town or a city's entire roadway network. We provide road safety assessments, and we deliver the Road Safety Champion program. And I'm going to touch on a few of those as well. That's our goal, raise awareness about VDOT safety initiatives. I touched on training. One of our classes that we deliver is how to develop a local road safety plan. We walk you through that. We point you in the direction of all the different associations that provide this tool. Here's a neat little graphic on local road safety plans that FHWA puts out. If you haven't visited their website, please do it. It has a ton of helpful information. Crash data analysis, we'll sit down with a local agency, the traffic engineer, city engineer, planner, administrator, whoever it is at that city we interact with or has that responsibility, and we'll walk them through these items. VDOT's crash analysis tool, the pedestrian safety action plan, potential safety improvement, and we'll highlight Virginia Safety Improvement Plan, local system systemic initiative, which Deepak has already done for us. If you haven't visited VDOT's crash tool, you need to certainly do it. If you don't know how to, reach out to me and I'll point you in the right direction. Here's an analysis we provided for one of the cities we worked with. We looked at 5 years of data, and we go over the crashes that have occurred over those 5 years, and we break it down per the CABCO scale from fatalities all the way down to property damage only, and that's what it looks like. And we'll do that for your town as well. And then we focus primarily on these 6 systemic safety countermeasures, which Deepak touched on as well. And you know, the name of the game is a systemic approach using low-cost countermeasures to move the needle, to get us closer to 0 deaths on our roadways. This is once again another a view of where we identify the different signal intersections within this town, and promoting, hey, you could be putting in high visibility signal backplates, which is one of the measures that you can request with this round of systemic safety funding. And you know, we'll break it down for your town or city and highlight the areas, the intersections that catch our attention. Unsignalized intersections as well, we touch on that. You can see that where the different crashes occurred for that situation, and then we drill down a little bit more and point out the different intersections that had some crashes at it. We conduct road safety audits as well, and you can see the definition for a road safety audit. We call them road safety assessments within VDOT, and here you see it, a formal safety performance evaluation of an existing road or intersection by an independent multidisciplinary team. There is a move to also focus on projects that are under design, and here you see those steps of the road safety assessment process. We go through all those with you. We work with the locality, the team, and here we are in Virginia Beach, where we did a road safety assessment that was associated with some training we did. And here we are performing the field review. This is after it's all done and everyone's geared down a little bit. And so, you know, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to work with you. Did an RSA for the town of Chincoteague. We focus on short-term, intermediate, and long-term improvements, and a handful of other things within that road safety assessment. We talk about safety on our Road Safety Champion program. We focus on the safe system approach. and we promote both VDOT and FHWA initiatives that are out there. All right, I'm going to try to share this screen. I'm gonna unshare and share another screen. Probably could just pull that screen over. That would be smart, but I'm not that intelligent. All right, and let's see here. This, and then I'll stop. Hopefully you can hear this. Taryn, tell me if you can.
Coming through loud and clear.
The human body isn't designed to handle the force of a motor vehicle crash. So if we're to achieve 0 deaths or serious injuries, the responsibility for safety on our roads falls on us all. We call this approach the SAFE system, multiple layers working together to protect you. That's the vehicle you're in, how safe you drive, the roads and safety conditions provided for you, and the speed you travel. So should something go wrong while travelling along our road network, the layers of the system are there to lessen the severity of a crash.
3, 2, 1.
It's true that mistakes on the road can be costly, but with a safe system in place, those mistakes shouldn't cost us our lives.
Okay. With that, I will stop my presentation. Deepak, Taryn, Mike, if y'all want to turn your cameras back on, you're certainly welcome to do it. And like we said before, if you need anything anything we talked about caught your attention, you want to reach out to us, by all means, please shoot us an email or give us a call. We will share our presentations in PDF format with everybody. And so give us a moment and we'll get that over to you. And we have 3 minutes left. So if you have any questions for Deepak, Mike, or myself, by all means, you can raise your hand and we'll call on you.
Well, I did see a question in the chat for you. I know Deepak and Mike have been answering things also. Is the VDOT crash tool the pathways for planning site or the Power BI site?
Go ahead, Deepak.
Yes, the crash tool was developed in-house by our the crash data team within the VHSIP Traffic Operation Division. All the PSI listing, the potential for safety improvement listing for segment and intersection, and all the crash tools is available online, including the PSAP priority corridors. So those all are available on our external website.
Excellent. Thank you, Deepak.
And I do see one more in the chat that I'm not sure anyone has answered yet. Do you have suggestions on cost benefit for small or rural cities with low crash data? And another person had said they have low crash data in their area too, and they'd like to be more proactive, but they feel like the data hinders it.
Yeah. I can answer that. I would like to recommend it to consolidate all the locations into and bundle into one applications related to the targeted crashes. So if you are doing that, you will get some benefit. And then our crash cost was increased from previously we used to have a 4 million for 1 fatalities. So now the crash cost is increased to almost 13 million. So if you have 1 fatalities or some kind of crashes by severity, you will get the highest benefit cost ratio. And since this is the systemic in nature, and the bicycle and pedestrian related crashes, those all are based upon the risk factor. So benefit cost ratio is not only the factors to access the eligibility of HSIP proposals. So I would recommend to provide any information you have, and we will consider those applications in our end.
Yeah, I would also share that the VDOTs, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say real quick that the risk-based portion, which is the bike ped portion, is the targeted high value of your focus when you don't have the crash data.
Yeah, and thank you, Mike. And then also, if you need assistance with anything, reach out to us. the Safety Circuit Rider Program is funded 100% by VDOT. We're here to help localities who maintain the roads. So reach out to us and we'll assist you if you're lacking something or unsure of that, if what you're applying for, hey, I don't have the data. I can't submit. Give us a call. We'll walk you through that and make you feel comfortable. And with that, I have 12 o'clock. We'd love to keep talking, but we're going to stay on point. All right. And Taryn, anything you want to share with us before we get out of here?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Walt. Thank you all for being here today. There are some different links that I dropped in the chat that we thought might be helpful resources for you guys. So if you have any questions about those, reach out. For those of you that joined through Talent LMS, if you head back there and refresh your screen and have just a moment, we would really appreciate your feedback on the course evaluation. Afterwards, you will be able to download a certificate of completion that'll be good for any PDHs you need. If you didn't join that way and joined by direct link, I know some of you had some issues with your account or aren't in the system yet, just reach out to me and I'll help you.
Excellent, Taryn. Thank you. And before we depart, I just wanted to say thanks to Deepak and Mike for taking time today to share your knowledge with our group. It makes a big difference. It does, I'll use the term move the needle. It moves it in the right direction, and thank you for what you do. Y'all be safe.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
all.
sir. Thank you.